So in school, you probably have this if you go to school. Either you or other people get in groups and they go into the bathrooms and they vape, or they go outside and vape, or they bring alcohol into school or something. I was talking to this person who actually smokes weed at like 14 years old. So that just got me thinking, and I think I have a correlation and a way to stop the downward spiral of the youth. So this is pertinent information for people like us, young kids or teenagers who are addicted to a negative thing. If you're a parent and you're wondering if you're raising your child properly, or you need a way to get them out of one of these addictions, or if you're below 14, around high school age, and you want to try to avoid this, basically any age group can take this information and use it. So here's the cycle. It starts with trauma, either from parents or friends, or maybe something happened in the streets, whatever. Any type of trauma. It could also happen from school, trauma or school, which creates the desire for pleasure. If you don't know what this feels like, which you probably do, you go to school, you hate it, you're away from your family, you're in a different place doing work all day. Now, it's very likely when you're 6 to even 18 years old, being in school sucks for you. Very likely that you feel this. And then when you get out and when you go home, you just feel the need for something to release the stress, or to relax with, or to help you calm down, or just anything that feels good so that you can get a short burst of dopamine or indulge in instant gratification to feel better. So this trauma or school causes a search for pleasure. Cheers. In my case, and I see this in a lot of other people, at school, in the search for pleasure you find social media, video games, sugar, and just short-term gratification. These are all obviously negative, but what they cause is running thoughts, the inability to be mindful or present. So if you watch TikTok or YouTube Shorts or Instagram and you're scrolling for hours and hours a day, like I used to do, your attention span is set for the short-term focus sessions. So that causes your running thoughts, then overthinking about yourself. So what this causes is a way to turn off your thoughts and relax. So what this causes is a need for calm. You want to find a way to calm yourself down. Sleep is too boring, so you don't do it. I've literally heard that from someone in school. So you try to find a way to calm yourself down. So the search for finding a way to calm yourself down leads to finding a deeper connection to these negative vices. You're looking for a way to calm down, so you find vaping or drinking, or even a worse form of scrolling. You scroll during the nighttime now, or your screen time is going up to like 60 hours per week, like someone in school said they had. So you get a deeper connection to these negative vices, and you find worse ones as you get older as well. Then now you're like 18 or early 20s, and you've built an addiction to these things. What this leads to is either you being killed by it or passing it on to your children or other people around you. So if it doesn't kill you, you pass it on. That's basically the downward spiral, starting at maybe 4 or 5 years old, that leads to you even being killed or passing on your trauma and negative addictions to your children, which passes it on to their children, and so on. And I've seen this in many people at school, or even in my own life. One of my family members died from drinking themselves to death, and it all started from childhood trauma. So this is all extremely bad and on a negative note. But what you've finally been waiting for, the solution. If I were to give you a solution to fix everything that I've talked about so far, it would just be self-improvement. Now, of course, some people find meditation and their whole life changes, and that's just one part of self-improvement. Some people find a passion or a productive thing that they can put all their energy into that changes their lives. Some people find breath work, making videos, sports. But in this case, self-improvement, what it does is it creates kinder people, more humble people, people who actually can be present and listen to you, who read books on how to win friends and influence people. So it builds a community of kind, loving, connected people who, when you speak to, they're not like the people in school are. They're present and they're there, they're speaking to you. Now imagine if your parents gave you the right food, got you into the right things, didn't give you weed, and they raised you properly. What self-improvement also does is it gives you direction, saves you from being lost and just looking for these quick dopamine spikes. And what it does is it gives you something to look forward to and put yourself into. And what this does is it increases your mental and physical health, which then causes you to be less likely to indulge in short-term gratification. It also builds a growth mindset, which then leads to education, and you start to learn more and educate yourself as well as others on things that really matter. And as a whole, it breaks the hard cycle. I think there's a Netflix show or a TV series called Painkiller. It's about 7 episodes of 40-minute long episodes about a company making painkillers that people get addicted to. And that's just one out of all of the stories that people have to tell. If you're struggling with addictions, you can get onto self-improvement and start looking for delayed gratification, because it's far more rewarding being proud of yourself and having accomplishments than feeling good in the moment and hating yourself. Now this video is already pretty long, and I want to summarize self-improvement so that you can get something out of this and say, this is what I have to do. So I'm going to give you a quick compendium of self-improvement. It's looking for your future self, making your future self proud of your past self. I can journal and I can say I'm grateful for my past self because they did 10 minutes of meditation today with fully focusing on being present this morning. Making your future self happier and more proud of your current self, rather than the other way around. If you eat the junk food, that's making yourself feel good now, and then your future self has to deal with it. They have to lose the weight, they have to feel the brain fog or have less energy. Try to do one thing at least every day that you can look back on and say, I'm grateful that I did that because of this. Hope this helped.